Kylian Mbappé, from Chelsea reject to Real Madrid. Superstar Kylian Mbappe's story does not start with glory, it starts with rejection. When he was only 11 years old, he traveled to England for a trial with Chelsea. He dreamed of playing in the Premier League, wearing the famous blue shirt. But after a few training sessions, the coaches told him he was not ready. Too small, too skinny, not strong enough for English football. For most kids, that would have been the end of the dream. For Mbappé, it was just the beginning. Back in Bondy, a tough neighborhood outside Paris, Kylian decided to prove everyone wrong. He trained on broken pitches, running with weights on his legs, playing against kids much older than him. He studied videos of Cristiano Ronaldo, copying every step, every movement, until people in Bondy called him the little Ronaldo. His parents pushed him, but also protected him. His father, Wilfried, a football coach, told him discipline was everything. His mother, Faiza, a former professional handball player, made sure he believed in himself no matter what. And Kylian believed. He believed so strongly that he told friends he would one day win the World Cup and play for Real Madrid. At 16 years old, Monaco gave him his chance. Within months, the whole of Europe was talking about this teenager who ran in the Champions League. The world had never seen a kid so fearless against the giants of football. Overnight, every big club wanted him. Barcelona called. Real Madrid invited him to Spain. Even Chelsea, the club that had once rejected him, came back with interest. But Mbappé chose Paris Saint-Germain because he wanted to stay in France and inspire kids from his neighborhood. PSG paid over 180 million euros, one of the biggest transfers in history. Suddenly, he was a superstar at only 18 years old. At PSG, Mbappé became unstoppable. His speed, his finishing, his confidence, it was impossible to ignore. Alongside Neymar and Cavani, he created one of the most dangerous attacks in world football. Fans filled the Parc des Princes to watch him. Defenders feared him. Commentators ran out of words to describe him. But his true breakthrough came on the international stage. The 2018 World Cup in Russia. At only 19 years old, Mbappé carried France on his shoulders. He scored 4 goals and became the youngest player since Pelé. Kylian Mbappé was not supposed to be here. At least that is what many said when he was just a boy from Bondy, running through the narrow streets with a football at his feet. No him for a trial, many thought his future was sealed. He traveled with hope in his eyes, wearing borrowed clothes, dreaming of the Premier League. But the club said no. They told him he was too raw, too unpolished, and they sent him back to France. But rejection became his fuel. Instead of quitting, he doubled his training. He promised himself that one day Chelsea would regret letting him walk away. At Monaco, he found the stage he needed. Suddenly, Europe saw this fearless teenager dribbling past defenders, twice his size, scoring goals in the Champions League against giants. His name became impossible to ignore. Real Madrid had already been watching. They saw shades of Cristiano Ronaldo in his speed, his hunger, his celebrations. The world exploded in 2018 when France lifted the World Cup at just 19. Mbappé was unstoppable. His lightning runs destroyed. Argentina, his goals in the final against Croatia, announced the birth of a new global superstar. Comparisons with Pelé arrived, and the world realized they were watching history in real time. Yet what truly defined Mbappé was not just trophies or headlines. It was the hunger that never faded. He trained when no one was watching. He studied defenders' movements frame by frame. He practiced his finishing until midnight at Paris Saint-Germain. Teammates told stories of him pushing the tempo in training sessions, demanding more from everyone. Pressure came quickly. PSG spent hundreds of millions building a team around him. Neymar, Messi, the brightest stars all gathered in Paris, but still the Champions League trophy slipped away year after year. Critics called them failures. Mbappé listened, but did not break. Each defeat became another scar.